Hari Om. Om Bhūr Svaḥ Tat Savitur Vareṇyam Bhargo Devasya Dhīmahi Dhiyo Yo Naḥ Pracodayāt. Om.
Hari Om and good evening to all of you. As decided, we are continuing this session because it's a beautiful flow of Gāyatrī Mantra. In yesterday's session, we saw that Gayatri has to be said twice in a day. It is there called the Sandhya time, once in the morning and once in the evening. It is also recommended that in the morning you do the Gayatri japa standing up, while in the evening you do it sitting down. It is also recommended that you do it for a minimum of 10 times every Sandhya, and you can do more also. We have been not only explaining the meaning of Gayatri Mantra, but it is very clear that Gayatri Mantra is said for two main purposes.
Yes.
One, to remove all negativities from your mind, so to get rid of all your sins in the correct meaning of the sins. And secondly, and the most important, it's a prayer to yourself to unveil yourself so that you attain the final goal of liberation. Let us continue this journey ahead.
In Taittiriya, Aranyaka, we have explained to you the meaning of Aranyaka before, but Gurudev has specifically said Aranyaka is the upāsanā kanda in. I repeat it again. Aranyaka is the upāsanā kanda in the Vedas, the portion that connects the purely ritualistic section called the Brahmanas with the essentially philosophic portion called the Upanishads. So it's a injunction. It's a junction part between the two. In Taittiriya Aranyaka, we have in a story form a glorious explanation of daily chanting of Gayatri and the offerings of the arghya poured towards the sun. The story is a typical example of the Vedic style of mysticism. While describing the story, it is made to convey a deep significance in our subjective life itself. So, the parables and the stories of Vedic period were very simple looking, very simple in understanding. But they are deep implicated meanings. The lakshya artha, as Gurudev says, not just the vachya artha, not what the words say, but the deep meanings needed to be understood.
Behind the words, the meaning behind the words.
They reveal the truth. This story is something similar, very simple to understand, but when Gurudev explains, you will see what it is. In an island called Arunam, a tribe of devils called Manadehas lived, and so their native island was also called as Manadeha Arunam. Every morning, these devils in their hordes conquer space and reach almost near the sun, threatening to destroy him, which is when the water thrown out of the palms of Gayatri Jagdish becomes lightning strong and the devils get struck by it and retreat back into their own island. This happens daily. So this is how the story is. The story as such would read silly, but so too the European music page books for me, that is Gurudev. But when a man renders it eloquently upon his musical instrument, the silly page melts into a torrential downpour of harmony and rhythm. Man, mana. Mind, mana, and body, deha, are the source of your activities. Therefore, Gurudev has pointed that hence the name of the island was Manadeha. Here the explanation starts. What is the story about? Mind, manaha, and body, the deha, are the source of your activities in the world outside, and they, with their likes and dislikes, the emotions and appetites, their passion and cravings, bring out from us a host of passionate animal instincts which try to conquer and destroy the spiritual essence, the Brahman, the sun in us. The essential brilliance of the human intellect thus gets clouded by the approaching hosts of these passions, and Gayatri Japa and its consequent effects are thunder and lightning descending upon them. This is the real meaning of that so simple looking story.
It is to be understood that Manu and Deha, these are the two essential organs, you can say, in our body, who are the cause of our whole entire being constantly being driven to the outside. We have seen how the Gyanendriyas and the Karmendriyas work, and they always are running outside, and this creates so much of problem that we will never reach our goal unless there are some things that we do. And one of the effective methods over here, as pointed out, is the Gayatri Mantra to protect you from this, and it is given in such a beautiful story.
And this happens daily to every single one of us. When we wake up in the morning, very seldom, few of us wake up with a serene, calm, relaxed, happy, self-realized state. We wake up with a jolt. Oh, this has to be done, that has to be done, that has to be done. So these, like demons, they take away the peace from you. They take you away from yourself. Gayatri Mantra in the morning, like a powerful water, it destroys all these thoughts and get you refocused, realigned to yourself. Reading further, thousands of years after Vedas, we have the Sutras, whose authors recommended more and more items to be incorporated in daily worship. Following the Sutras, after a time, the Agamas came to be written, and their authors had their own contributions to make to the general form of their daily worship. यानी Agamas means जो daily worshipping का जो system है, all that system is called Agama. Agamas mainly describe the ritualistic regulations and the rules in worshipping Vishnu, Shiva and Shakti. So what is Gurudev trying to explain here? The Vedic system of Gayatri, saying, and the water, and then pouring the water away, was the most simplistic thing. Water you can gain anywhere. Sun rises, you be wherever, in whichever part of the world, you can know when the sun is rising. Face the sun, take a little water, say the Gayatri, pour the water. In the mind, understand what is happening. So simple and straight. It is only in the later period that all these other different rituals came into being.
First in the form of sutras, and later on in the form of agamas.
Each agama claimed the Gayatri as its own, and they declared that Gayatri is presided over by Vishnu or Shiva or Shakti according to the name of the Lord that is recommended by the agama. The Shatakas gave the idea that Gayatri is the infinite goddess. Shaktas gave the idea that Gayatri is the infinite goddess and made her a feminine deity, Gayatri Devi, who soon became the mother of the Vedas. And even today it is very freely believed by Brahmins that if they have chanted Gayatri, they have chanted the Vedas. Now see, slowly Gurudev has, from the original Vedic meaning and understanding, he has taken us to what has happened to it in the course of history. When we talk of course of history, we are not talking about 50 years or 200 years.
It's literally thousands.
Literally thousands of years.
Yes. So Gayatri also came to be associated with the feminine deity or Gayatri Devi later on.
Very many interesting but irrational, though quite effective beliefs have arisen about Gayatri Mantra and the efficiency.
Efficacy.
Efficacy. And here Gurudev is saying his own thought. He is saying, personally I do not believe in these, but I am reporting here that those who are suffering from these mental weaknesses can find a consolation and true remedy by repeating Gayatri Mantra.
We can so imagine that a person of Gurudev's stature had no requirement for that. but for those who are weaker. It helps them.
So here we come. For anyone frightened in the dark, Gayatri Mantra chanting is immediately advised to get over the nervousness of his fright. If anyone has some such delusory fright, as a result of which the individual is prostrate with illness, then some Brahmin priests of true devotion and pure moral life are engaged in conducting a congregational japa by his bedside of the patient. So these both things are explained, that if there is some fear in your heart in the dark or something, you can chant Gayatri. This is some belief of so many people. There is also this belief, if somebody is out of fear and out of anxiety is become unwell, a group of Brahmins who are pure in their conduct, they come and chant the Gayatri Homa or the Gayatri chanting for many thousands of repetitions next to his bed, and he becomes healthy again. These are different beliefs. Remember, beliefs come when they are effective, they become strong faith. These beliefs only prove that the very name of Gayatri Mantra, the mantra, is fully justified. The term Gayatri itself means, Gurudev has explained in Sanskrit first, Gayatam Trayate iti Gayatri. In English, that mantra which protects him who chants it.
So, if you chant Gayatri Mantra, you get protection.
So, the word Gayatri means so beautiful. It is also believed in India that on starting any important great work, if a man detects some bad omen, he must immediately sit down and chant the Gayatri 11 times. If on starting again he meets with a new set of bad omens, he used to sit down again and chant Gayatri 16 times. This will remove the effect of bad omen encountered. This is yet another belief. So see how so many beliefs are associated with Gayatri. Obviously, Rashmi, why do we associate any beliefs with anything? Because somewhere or the other it has worked. Its power is that much.
The efficacy of the mantra has been seen, and that efficiency of the mantra, the effectiveness of the mantra has caused these beliefs to rise. It is not a blind belief or the other way around, where it is believed and then people follow it without understanding. No, it is not the case. Here the case is that the mantra is so efficient and it has been so proved that people started using it for many different
other
things.
reasons. Reading further, in India, a Hindu boy is initiated into the Gayatri Mantra very early in his life. This is done under the family social ritual called the Upanayanam ceremony. Many of the South Indian people yet do this very much. They are very ritualistic. They are very particular about this dharma.
No, not the South Indians. A lot of people all over India are all the Hindus.
Correct. Even in the north, even in the east, even in the west. But it is very evident in the South Indians for sure. At least that is what my experience is. In the Vedic literature, we find mention of the Gayatri Diksha. The term Diksha means a discipline which one must undergo in order that one may become fit for taking part in any Vedic rituals. So before you even get ready to attend a Vedic ritual, you must know the Gayatri Mantra. Therefore, Gayatri Diksha is done. The word Upanayanam means bringing nearer a preceptor who initiates the boy by giving him the sacred Gayatri Mantra. It is interesting to note that there are definite prescriptions ordering the age at which the boys are to be initiated. Manusmriti says, Manu gives the age as 5 for a brahmin, 6 for a kṣatriya and 8 for a vaishya. And maximum age at which initiation may be given are at the age of 16, 22, 24 respectively. Therefore, many times you will see, Rashmi, Hindus just before they are about to get married, the boy is immediately told, no, first you have to do the thread ceremony you have to do and then only you can get married. Why? Because Hindus yet get married according to the Vedic sacred fire system. So that's why that system is yet prevalent. We move ahead. The Vedic declaration glorified this samskara karma. Samskara karma. Samaskara means that beautiful quality which makes you purify. Samaskrita, that which is purified. Samskara karma, and insists that the life after Gayatri Diksha is almost a second birth. Since in this ritualism, the boy is initiated into a new transformation in his subtle life. The father and mother have given birth to him from mutual desire, and so he is born from the womb. Let this be known as his physical birth, but that birth which is given according to the ordinance through the Savitri by the preceptor who has mastered the Vedas is the true birth, the unchanging and immortal. After this initiation, the boy is considered as twice born or Dvija. Dvija. Ja means Jayate, means birth. Dvi means the second birth. It is so brilliantly said here that when you are born the first time through the mother's womb, it is out of love and desire of the parents. But the second time when you are born because of knowledge, because of Gayatri, this birth is that birth which will make you immortal.
So it is an extremely important ceremony, and you will also see that in a particular part it has been given with the ages as 5 for a Brahmin, 6 for a Kshatriya and 8 for a Vaishya, and so on. We will speak about this in our discussion session, because it's important to understand what a Brahmin is, what a Vaishya is,
Yes, we will certainly.
what all of this means.
Gurudev is taking us deeper into Gayatri. The full Gayatri Mantra has got, in fact, a fourth line also. It reads like this: Paro Rajase Savadom. Now, who is supposed to do this? The meaning is, first, he who is transcending the effulgence is this. Now, this particular fourth line, the fourth line also, which invokes that which lies beyond the effulgence, and it asserts in an intimate subjective experience of the devotee this identity with it as that is this. Remember, actually, that time we had spoken the 4 Mahavakya. Tat Tvam Asi, that thou art. The same thing is expressed in the 4th sentence of Gayatri. Who is to be reading this? The 4th line is referred to in the Chandogya, Brihadaranyaka and the Brahma Sutra. This line has been always preserved as very sacred and secret, and it is only given to full-time seekers or to self-dedicated sannyasis. This line is not so much for chanting as for experiencing in the highest moments of intense meditation in samadhi. In ancient days, ladies used to chant Gayatri as freely as men. Yes, there is a thought in today's world, or there was this thought, that ladies should not chant Gayatri. So Gurudev is very clearly saying what is the truth. In ancient days, ladies used to chant Gayatri as freely as men. So says Manu from Manusmriti. In the ancient days, ladies had their Upanayanam performed, just like the men. They used to learn the Vedas, teach the Vedas to others and chant Gayatri Mantra. Here, the term ladies cannot, by any stretch of imagination, be conceived as the meaning the ladies of the Brahmins or the Kshatriya families only. No.
All women used to chant all the mantras, they all studied the Vedas, and all women used to do Upanayan thread ceremony. It is today also done in our ashram at Chinmayananda.
Imagine this. How can one understand this wrong concept that ladies should not be studied? Wow. The strongest and the most powerful mantra for enlightening your mind is by a name of a lady, Gāyatrī,
Later on.
so-called. However, what it really is that every single lady was educated. Therefore, the land came to known as Bharata. Bha means knowledge, knowledge of light. Ratha means those who revel in this light.
So those who revel in the knowledge were the Bharatis.
Bharatis.
So our land came to be known as Bharata.
In fact, the spiritual unfoldment through mantra upāsanā is found more readily in ladies banning gentlemen, because the former has not the nerve-shattering personal contact with the competitive problems of life. Thus, the Shastra injunctions and our own personal observation take us to the conclusion that women too rather should chant the Gāyatrī Mantra regularly in the morning and in the evening worship. It's a must, it's a should that Gurudev is saying. In fact, there are repeated declarations in our Hindu sacred books that if the effect of the sadhana performed by men are their own, if the effects are for their own, the spiritual benefits acquired by the women folk are shared by the husband, by the children, by their families and their entire society. Such is the noble lady. So, Namo Namaha to the woman of the family and the society. Such high pedestal.
So our thought
ladies
process,
are
the
at.
Hindu thought process, the Sanatan Dharma thought process was at its so peak, so much respect was given, so much understanding was given, and especially for women. It was like they had to be highly educated, and Gurudev has clearly said that in the spiritual unfoldment, actually it is the men who should be banned, because for a reason that they went out and they came in contact with the outer world more. So the impurities were more, while the women were purer at heart.
That's right. The deeper philosophical imports of Gayatri are very clear. Now Gurudev is going into deep. The mantra, as it stands, obviously invokes the Lord's Sun and pleads to him to illumine the intellect of the seeker. Sunlight cannot, it is certain, illumine in us the intellect, the white and the grey matter of the brain. It cannot. In our inner life, the sun represents the life giver, the illuminator of all experiences, the Atman. This pure consciousness in us, the inner center of our personality, around which the matter envelopments function with mathematical precision, just as around the sun, the entire solar system revolves, each planet and its appointed speed, and each along its appointed path, is being invoked to shine more and more in our intellect. The microcosm and the macrocosm is identical. The identity of the two I have been explained so clearly. Just like the sun outside is the center and all the planets move around in discipline. Same with the conscious in us. The consciousness in us is the center unchanging, and all the indriyas, the pranas, everything moves around in discipline. If the sun were not there, life would have been impossible. Without the Atman, the matter envelopment becomes inert and dead. What is this body called when this Atman goes away? Dead Jagdish. Atman is the key. We appeal to this inner sun of life to illumine the intellect. The infinite light of wisdom, the supreme self, is never contaminated in its eternal effulgence. It is ever the same. Its intensity cannot increase or decrease. Therefore, all that devotee means is, may my intellect be steady without agitation. May it be clean without the dirt of passion. May the light of consciousness come to shine forth a brilliant beam of its radiance through my intellect. Thus, may my perception of the world be clearer, my discrimination subtler, and my judgments correct and quick, my comprehensions of situation and beings be precise and wise. Om Tat Sat.
Incredible. How the
Incredible this.
microcosm and the macrocosm are absolutely identical. The universe that is around us, that we see with our perceptive senses, is the same within us. There is a discipline, there is a rotation, and it is absolutely incredible how beautifully it has been explained in this Gāyatrī Mantra.
In 3 sentences, the Gayatri explains not only the universe, but also you own self. And then you and the universe relationship, and then it expands and explains that the universe is nothing but you, the consciousness. This is just 3 sentences. How many verses are Vedas, Rashmi? Lakhs of verses. To explain the Vedas, Upanishads even further. To explain the Upanishads, the Bhashyas even bigger. To explain the Bhashyas, great humans, great Gurudevs like Gurudev have written books and books and books, talked thousands of hours.
Literally. Also that we may be helped. And as a duty to ourselves, let us continue on this path of knowledge, and then we meet now for our discussion session.
Immediately after this.
So please switch to the other platform. If there are any questions, please note them. Let us know. We will discuss them later on also. So let us end this session, this beautiful ending, or let us say the beginning of Gāyatrī Mantra.
Asato ma satgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityor ma mritam gamaya. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Harihi Om. Hari Om. Hari Om.